Hey everybody, ready for another deep dive with me?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Today we're going to learn about Harriet Quimby.
Oh, wow.
Now, her name may not be immediately familiar to you,
I'd agree.
but she was a remarkable woman in the early days of aviation.
Yeah.
We're talking about America's first licensed female pilot.
Wow.
Like, imagine Amelia Earhart,
Right.
but more than a decade before her.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to look at this video from the Frontiers of Flight Museum to kind of guide us.
Okay.
And it's really a captivating story
Yeah.
because not only was she this amazing pilot,
Yay.
but she had a whole life before aviation too.
Mhm.
Like she was a journalist,
Oh, cool.
which back then, early 1900s, not exactly a common job for women,
No, not at all.
but she was a success.
That's awesome.
She wrote for a bunch of publications like the San Francisco Dramatic Review,
Oh, cool.
even some big newspapers.
Uh,
Eventually she was like, you know what? I'm going to New York City.
wow. The big time.
Right. The hub of everything theater.
Yeah.
And she became a writer for Leslie's Illustrated Weekly.
Now that is a big publication.
Huge.
Yeah.
So all this writing, it wasn't just like a random thing,
Yeah.
you know.
I see.
It actually played a huge part in her later aviation success.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. She knew how to tell a story,
Right.
and she knew how to connect with people through her writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those are pretty essential skills when you're trying to get people excited about, you know, this whole new world of flying.
Especially back then.
Right. Like, it's 1910, people barely understand cars.
And then these crazy contraptions in the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's this event, the Belmont Park International Air Meet.
Okay.
Can you imagine
Mm-hmm.
all these early airplanes racing, people watching, the excitement in the air,
I bet.
and Harriet's there,
Of course.
covering it for Leslie's.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, it wasn't just another assignment for her.
No.
I think it truly sparked something in her. This guy, John Moisant, he wins the race. Totally charismatic pilot.
Uh-huh.
And she's inspired, right? Like,
Yeah,
sees
yeah.
the possibilities.
I see. I see.
Sadly, John dies in a flying accident later that year.
Oh, no.
But his sister, Matilda,
Yes.
she picks up the torch, so to speak,
Okay.
becomes a pilot herself.
Wow.
And here's the crazy part. She becomes Harriet's flight instructor.
No way.
Yeah, and just to emphasize, this is 1910,
Mhm.
when women weren't exactly encouraged to, you know, fly
Well,
airplanes.
No.
But these two, they were trailblazers.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And on August 1st, 1911, Harriet gets her pilot's license.
Wow.
Officially the first woman in the U.S. to do so.
What a milestone.
License number 37.
Cool.
That's a date to remember 12 years before Amelia Earhart.
That's amazing.
And you know what's even cooler is that Harriet, she didn't just want to be a good pilot.
Right.
She understood the power of, well, showmanship.
Showmanship. Okay.
Like she wore this signature purple satin flying suit.
Wait, really? That's amazing.
Yeah. In this video, they talk about how she really stood out.
Mm-hmm.
Because back then, aviation was as much about entertainment as it was about the technology.
Right, yeah.
And Harriet got that. She used it to draw people in, to make a statement.
I love that.
She even scored a sponsorship deal with Veen Fizz, you know, the grape soda.
Oh, wow. Really? That's cool.
So she's a skilled pilot.
Right.
She's also savvy, knows how to promote herself, get people interested.
That's really impressive.
And then she sets her sights on something even bigger, crossing the English Channel.
Whoa, hold on.
Can you imagine the guts to even think about that back then?
I can't.
This was a huge challenge. Nobody had done it, especially not a woman.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And she does it. April 16th, 1912, takes off from Dover, England.
Okay.
Less than an hour later, lands in France, near Heartelot.
Wow.
First woman ever to fly across the English Channel.
That's incredible.
Right, it should have been front page news everywhere.
I would think so.
But remember what else happened in April 1912?
Oh.
The Titanic?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just days before Harriet's flight.
Wow. Talk about bad timing.
Right. The world is captivated by this tragedy.
Yeah.
And Harriet's accomplishment, it kind of gets lost in the news.
That's so sad.
It's heartbreaking, really.
Mm.
But still, she kept going,
Yeah.
wrote about her channel crossing for a newspaper.
Wow, using those writing skills.
Yep. And she kept pushing the boundaries of what was possible, inspiring people, showing what women could do.
Hey, it's really a shame that
Yeah.
what happened next.
It's tough to talk about, but less than a year after getting her license, Harriet dies in a plane crash
Oh, no.
at the Boston Air Show.
Oh.
It's a reminder of how dangerous early aviation was.
Yeah.
These pilots were true pioneers, risking their lives every time they took to the sky.
Yeah, pushing the limits, testing the technology.
Right, and it's a huge loss.
Yeah,
But we can't forget, Harriet's story doesn't end with her death.
right.
Her legacy, her impact, it lives on. Think about it. She was a gifted writer, a skilled pilot, and a trailblazer who defied conventions. She really did inspire a generation of women.
That's so important.
And it makes you wonder, what if the Titanic hadn't sunk?
Yeah.
Would Harriet have gotten the recognition she deserved? What else could she have achieved?
What a thought. Yeah.
It's those what ifs that make history so fascinating.
Absolutely.
But even though her life was cut short, Harriet Quimby's impact is undeniable.
Without a doubt.
She proved women could soar just as high as men.
And inspired us to reach for our dreams.
That's it, no matter how audacious they might seem.
Amazing. We'll be right back after a quick break to dive a little deeper into Harriet's lasting impact and what her story means for us today.
Stick with us.
Stay tuned. You know, it's easy to forget just how dangerous those early flights were.
Yeah, especially after hearing about Harriet's crash.
It makes you think those early aviators, they weren't just pilots.
No.
They were practically explorers
Right.
going into uncharted territory.
Exactly, pushing the limits with every flight.
And not to mention, society wasn't exactly encouraging women to be doing this.
Yeah, the expectations back then.
Totally different world.
But Harriet, she persisted,
She did.
showed everyone what women were capable of.
Yeah. I mean, her impact goes way beyond just her own accomplishments, doesn't it?
I think so.
It's like she changed the game for everyone.
It's that ripple effect.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
makes you think, about the Titanic,
Oh, right.
stealing the spotlight from her channel crossing.
What if things had been different?
It's hard not to wonder
Yeah.
if her story had been front page news.
She could have been a household name,
Like a symbol for women everywhere.
For sure. Like breaking those barriers down.
It's crazy to think about.
It is, but even without all that, her legacy is powerful.
It is.
She proved that women belonged in the cockpit.
And that purple flying suit,
Oh, yeah.
it's iconic.
It really is like a symbol of her individuality.
Yeah, like she was saying, I'm here and I'm gonna do things my way.
Exactly. And look, even back then, she knew how to stand out.
Right. Personal branding at its finest.
For sure. And that's a lesson that's still relevant.
Big time.
Gotta find a way to stand out, tell your story,
It's true. So much noise out there.
and use that platform to make a difference.
Exactly.
It's all about pushing those boundaries.
Just like Harriet did.
It makes you wonder, though,
What's that?
whatever happened to that purple suit?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is it in a museum somewhere?
Tucked away in someone's attic.
Imagine if it resurfaced.
Right. Like a piece of history coming back to life.
A tangible reminder of her story.
So powerful.
It would be.
We've covered so much, but there's still more to uncover.
Oh, yeah, we're just getting started.
Stick with us as we dive even deeper into the impact of Harriet's story.
And what it means for us today.
It's pretty amazing when you think about,
What's that?
well, the whole context of Harriet's story.
Ah.
Early 1900s.
Yeah. Lots going on.
So much change happening.
Yeah, like the progressive era, women fighting for the right to vote,
All these new inventions.
and a world war on the horizon, right?
Exactly. And then there's Harriet.
Taking to the skies.
Yeah, and these super early airplanes.
Makes you think she really embodied that spirit of the time.
Pushing boundaries, defying expectations, the whole thing.
And her impact, it went way beyond just flying,
It's true.
She became this symbol of what women could do.
Like breaking free from all those old constraints.
Absolutely.
It's almost like she was saying, look, we can do this too.
Yeah.
And with such confidence, grace, a sense of adventure,
It wasn't just about the records.
it was about breaking down those barriers.
Imagine all the young girls seeing that,
Right.
thinking, hey, I can do that too.
Even if it seems dangerous or unconventional.
Harriet showed them it was possible.
It's that ripple effect again.
Exactly.
And I think it also highlights how important visibility is.
Oh, I see.
Like by daring to be seen
To be herself,
and show off her skills.
she changed perceptions.
Opened doors for so many others.
And she knew how to get people's attention too.
Oh yeah, the purple flying suit, the theatrical flair, that storytelling
You
ability.
got it, the power of image.
And that's still so relevant today, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like in this world, so much information, gotta stand out
Find a way to tell your story.
and use that platform to, make a difference.
So true.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Harriet's life,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you really want our listeners to take away from her story?
I think it's this: anyone can achieve amazing things.
Yeah,
When they have big dreams, follow their passions.
and challenge the status quo.
Harriet's life is a testament to that, you know?
That potential we all have inside.
Just waiting to be unleashed.
Beautifully said.
Well, thanks.
And on that note, we want to thank you all for joining us on this journey
It's been a pleasure.
through the life of Harriet Quimby, a true pioneer
Absolutely.
who soared above all the limitations of her time.
And inspired us all.
We encourage you to, keep exploring her story.
Yeah, learn more about early aviation.
There's a whole world out there to discover.
So much to learn.
And as always, keep questioning, keep exploring,
Yeah, keep pushing those boundaries.
and never forget the power of a purple flying suit.
You got it.